Coming up on this edition of DMPS-TV News, Findley Elementary is selected by the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities to participate in the new Arts Education Initiative. Learn what high-profile artists will be working with the school and community on the initiative. There were several special guests that visited the district recently. See what brings NFL football player and the head football coach for the Iowa State Cyclones into our schools. See what students across the district are doing to stay physically active, give back to the community, and care for the environment. Stay tuned for all these stories and more. Hi, and welcome to this edition of DMPS-TV News. I'm your host, Sarah Challender. The President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities announced that Findley Elementary has been selected to participate in a new arts education initiative to help turn around low-performing schools. The Turnaround Arts Initiative is a new public-private partnership designed to narrow the achievement gap and improve students' engagement throughout the arts.
We are working on improving student achievement, and one of the ways that's research-based proven to help student achievement is integrating fine arts into core curriculum subjects. Students who have more access to fine arts classes tend to do better on tests and in the classroom.
Findley was chosen to be one of the 8 schools featured in the program through a highly competitive national selection process. The school will receive intensive arts education resources, expertise, and the involvement of a high-profile artist to support their educational reform effort.
But there's going to then be a big professional development piece with our entire staff, and we will have an educational consultant that will support us throughout the entire time. We're working on developing community partnerships with the Civic Center and then other local artists that will come in and not only look at this as far as increasing and beefing up our arts in the art classroom and the music classroom, but looking at how we can make sure that we're truly integrating arts in all content areas.
Forrest Whitaker is the chosen artist to adopt Findley Elementary by working with the school and community over the course of a 2-year program.
We have been identified to partner up with Forrest Whitaker, who is going to be our celebrity artist that will be adopting Findley. But that's such an exciting piece that the kids are going to be loved.
During a recent visit to Roosevelt High School, Congressman Leonard Boswell announced that a piece of art created by Kashi Reyes, a student at Roosevelt, was selected to be displayed at the United States Capitol for the next year. Reyes's winning work of art is an etching of the Iowa State Capitol and is the winner of the 2012 Congressional Art Competition for Iowa's 3rd District.
Be proud of it. It's a good thing, and it kind of helps develop the whole person. And I think that's good, and that's really what it's all about.
In addition to having his art display on the U.S. Capitol, Reyes received 2 airline tickets to Washington, D.C. in order to attend a reception for the winners to be held in June.
Well, the first person I told was actually my older sister, and she's always been really close to me and always supported me with my artwork, so I was going to take her.
Lincoln High School hosted Minnesota Vikings linebacker and former Iowa Hawkeye Chad Greenway and Iowa State's treasurer Michael Fitzgerald, who introduced a new financial football video game and classroom curriculum being distributed to every public middle and high school in the state of Iowa. Greenway and Fitzgerald led 2 teams of approximately 50 Lincoln High School students as they participated in the financial football demonstration. Financial football helps students and adults tackle their financial features by incorporating financial lessons taught through Practical Money Skills for Life, a free award-winning money management program.
And financial literacy is understanding how to properly handle your finances, and that can be everything from budgets to checking and savings accounts to credit cards to student loans, taxes. So we cover the whole gamut within the financial literacy curriculum.
Well, I think this is a vitally important thing that not only NFL players go through, but also just young people in America in general. And that's why I think it's so important is to be here. And I think it's great for them to not only be in this class and be so involved, but obviously with going through these questions, I mean, they're obviously very smart kids and they know what's going on, and hopefully they can translate that into the real world, because even though they're 17, 18 now, they'll be living these situations here in a few years.
In 2007, the Des Moines School Board asked the community what knowledge, skills, and abilities should high school graduates have as they graduated. And after receiving feedback from thousands of people through surveys, focus groups, and meetings, the school district established a new graduate ends, or expectations for students.
From those goals, we will develop basically all of the policies for the next 5 years for the Des Moines Public Schools based on what we get from these community conversations.
The school board met with communities in 5 different middle schools to discuss and assess whether the current expectations for students are still appropriate for today.
It's important because we need the community to help us set the goals. If we set them arbitrarily ourselves, they wouldn't be representing what our community wants our graduates to be able to do. So this is the opportunity for the community to be able to tell us what they want our graduates to be able to do when they leave the Des Moines Public Schools.
East High School celebrated its centennial anniversary with a blast from the past. Thanks to an X-ray scan of the building, a 100-year-old time capsule was discovered in the building's cornerstone. The capsule was extracted in April, but the contents weren't unveiled until several days later for a ceremony that kicked off the school's reunion festivities. Students, teachers, alumni members, and special guest Governor Terry Branstad were in attendance at the time of the capsule's unveiling ceremony.
We know there were 38 items placed in the box. Now, when we opened it, because of the fact that it had been in there for 100 years, some of the things were just too fragile for us to open and actually look at. There were some things that we could tell. There was a Bible, there was a newspaper that's in excellent shape and it's really fun to read. There was a girls' club book, there's a silk flag with 48 stars. There's the Iowa record was in there, which would have been the Code of Iowa back then. There's a pennant. We know that there were 3 phonograph records, but they're wax recordings, and so just because of elements and the nature of 100 years, they didn't survive. We weren't able to take those out, but we know that those were recordings of actual students 100 years ago singing the school song and doing some of their chants for football games.
The capsule is expected to return to the building's original cornerstone sometime during the 2012 and 2013 homecoming, and a new one will be placed with it for future generations to discover. Hoover High School sophomores and juniors took part in the annual STARS Day of Service Learning and recognition of the Global Youth Service Day. Hoover's program STARS is an acronym for Sharing Talents and Resources Through Service, and is a program that gives students the opportunity to serve their local community.
So it's kind of a threefold mission here for our students. They get to serve the community, they get to learn about how the community needs help and what kinds of ways they can do that, and then possibly what kind of job opportunities are there. So we're doing a little bit of job exploration too while we're at it.
A core group of 10 student leaders worked with a committee to plan the event with 3 Hoover staff members. Those 10 students then recruited their peers and have led contacts to the various service sites.
I think it's a good thing that we have an opportunity at our school to go out and help people around the community.
The Merrill Middle School student body raised more than $7,000 for Meals for the Heartland. The nonprofit organization, composed of volunteers, helps feed starving people around the world. Thanks to those funds, Merrill students packaged nearly 40,000 meals to be sent out to people in need.
Seeing it come to an end and seeing the full process, because you work so hard to get all the money, and then once you finally see all the foods and packages and meals, and then you start to think about all the kids and starving people that you're going to help, you get a good feeling inside you.
Wright Elementary School has been recognized by the Leonard Bernstein Center as a legacy school for its artful learning implementations. The famous composer Leonard Bernstein theorized inquiry-based instruction that focused on visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learning throughout the arts.
At Wright, our students are learning through movement, through creating art, and they're able to go much deeper with our curriculum than you could by just answering questions at the end of a text selection. So our students are able to act something out that they've just learned, or if they're learning the life cycle of a butterfly, they will get in a group and flock it, we would say, dancing through movement. And the learning is cemented then in their minds, and they don't forget it the next day.
Leonard's son, Alexander, paid a visit to Wright Elementary to see the artful learning in practice. During his tour, he spoke with 4th grade students and answered their many questions. He also took the time to meet with the teaching staff to discuss the positive impacts of artful learning.
To teach the content that the state requires, and it's a very rigorous model, and but it's very serious fun.
Hannawalt Elementary School held its annual Day in the Arts event. Day in the Arts has been a school tradition for 12 years and provides each student with the opportunity to experience 3 unique workshop sessions with local artists throughout the day. 19 community artists spent the day teaching and creating art with Hannawalt students. The event is a collaborative effort between school staff, students, PTA, local businesses, and arts agencies. Concluding the Day in the Arts was a comedic grand finale with Fax Gilbert's interactive program, Mime, Masks, and Magic, performed for the entire school.
What I find is that a lot of kids, wake up and they realize that they like this kind of thing. And many kids, are met with sports and they're met with academics. Other kids, they have an artistic talent or temperament and they like to be out there and show their stuff, and this gives them a very brief but intense experience of it.
In honor of Arbor Day and Earth Day, Des Moines Mayor Frank County and Councilman Skip Moore spoke to McKinley Elementary students about the importance of planting trees and taking care of the environment.
Let's hope it happens on every school ground in every city across this country, not only today, but everybody thinks about it every day, and the kids will take that idea home and we'll get more trees planted at homes too.
After the assembly, 3rd grade students helped the Des Moines Forestry Division in planting a new bur oak tree, which is Iowa's state tree, to be planted in front of the school. But McKinley students weren't the only ones getting their hands dirty. Both Hillis and Hubbell Elementary students and community volunteers participated in garden planting days at their school. During the day-long event at Hubbell, each student was given the opportunity to plant a seed or seedling into the school's vegetable garden.
I saw an article in the newspaper about a school garden somewhere else in the country, and I emailed it to Tim Schott, who was the principal at the time, and I said, we should do this. And he said, okay, do you want to do it? And I said, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. And so we designed the beds and came up with a plan, and then got some parents together, and the Hubbell School Garden started that way. I just hope that this encourages kids to go home and have gardens at home with their families, because that's what we want to do, is get people interested in growing their own foods again. And even if you can't grow your own food in your own garden, then go to a farmer's market, find a farmer, and get back to eating real foods.
This is kind of our kickoff, and we're really excited because we have summer school happening at Hillis as well. So our students right now will just be in the beginning stages of these gardens and not really see it evolve over the summer, but we've got a group of summer school kids that are going to tend to our gardens in the summer. And then in the fall, we're excited to be able to harvest all of the vegetables that we're planting today and the pumpkins, and it's going to be very exciting. So today is kind of our kickoff. We hope it'll be an annual event. We're just excited that Hillis is really working towards being a green school.
Lights, Camera, Fashion. The Central Campus Fashion Design and Merchandising Program held its annual fashion show in the school's auditorium. Each year, the show features designs created and modeled by students.
No, there's no other program in Iowa that you can get this experience from. It's a great experience because you're not only here with learning about something that you're so passionate about, but you're also here with other kids from other schools. So it's almost like a mini college, and students love coming here because they can collaborate and bounce things off of each other. And it's also great to work with other programs and see how they kind of mold together and affect each other.
Many of Central's programs work together to produce the show. Home building makes the stage, graphic communications designs the flyer, broadcasting and film produces the video for the show, and the culinary arts program prepares food for everyone involved in the production. A 3rd grade teacher at Perkins Elementary was announced as the Golden Apple Award winner in the month of April. Karen Birchmeyer, a 23-year veteran educator, was honored thanks to nominations submitted by her students. The Golden Apple Award is sponsored by WHO-TV Channel 13 News and Allied Insurance, and is awarded once each month to a teacher in the Des Moines metro area.
Well, it was very surprising, that's for sure. I had turned in a name for another teacher, so I thought this award was going to another teacher on our staff. But it was just so wonderful, especially to hear the words of students and to feel the appreciation that students and parents and people feel for what you do. I've been teaching for 23 years, so it's the icing on the cake to hear nice things like that. I love what I do every day, but those things like that touch your heart in a way that nothing else could.
King Elementary School won a visit from Iowa State University head football coach Paul Rhodes to help launch the school's Fuel Up to Play 60 wellness program. The school earned a visit by the Cyclones football coach after they won a sign-up challenge.
Our kids love being active in PE. I just think they need to learn how to transition that outside in the playgrounds, around what's available in their area, and so they can continue to not only be active, but I think eat healthy too.
During his visit, Coach Rhodes spoke to students about the Fuel Up to Play 60 program and gave his personal story about eating healthy and being physically active.
Well, I think they need a little reinforcement for their actions. These kids have been very active in exercising 60 minutes a day and devoting to eating healthily, and I think that's pretty special and just something as a reward for them, a chance to give back.
Brubaker Elementary students put their steps into action. The students and staff completed a 30-minute aerobic walk around the Hoyt Brubaker campus to celebrate the Go the Distance Day. After the walk, the kids that finished the laps for the Kids Striders program were also acknowledged.
Sure, Kids Striders is a program facilitated by Iowa Kids Strong, which is a nonprofit that I founded and direct. And Kids Striders is a program that I developed to incentivize movement for children. It's an elementary school initiative that revolves around walking or jogging, a cumulative distance. The distance goal is generally 26 miles, but we reward kids with the opportunity to run at the Grand Blue Mile who have accumulated 13 miles or more. Our mission is to promote healthy and active lifestyles to youth. So as a part of the Healthiest State Initiative, it fits in perfectly with that. We're right now incentivizing movement in children with the hopes that eventually that those external incentives will lead to internal motivation that will last a lifetime.
Coles Montessori held its first annual 5K fun run and walk in celebration of the school's Fuel Up to Play 60 grant. The participants completed 2 loops around the Coles Windsor Heights neighborhood.
It's very exciting because I was able to do this race with my kids, and that's the first time that I've done an event with them like that. Usually I've done it by myself, but now they're old enough where they can appreciate it, and they've always been great cheerleaders when I am running, so it's kind of fun to do that for them.
Participation was free for all Coles students, and 100% of the registration fees from the community's participation went back into the school to help support after-school programs and provide preschool scholarships. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of DMPS-TV News. If you would like more information on these stories, visit dmschools.org. I'm your host, Sarah Challender. Thanks for watching.